In this book here, folks, hello to everyone who isn't Paul Murphy, because I'm Paul Murphy, and it's very egotistical to say hello to myself. You never talk to me anymore. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and so I'm going to be reading clips, extracts, bits, chapters from this book here, which is My Extremely Unlikely History of the United Kingdom, which is volume 3 in my one book series, spoofing the origins of countries. And, let's just get on with it. All this preamble, who needs it, eh? Do you know, I said to my mate the other day, I said, you know, I haven't had a date in a year. He said, you want to try Grindr? Bought one, sounded out of me knob off. And then with the jokes, well, the written jokes, and the windy banter. If I do it like this, oh, I'm feeling self-conscious, I'm not coming out. Right, United Kingdom. Oh, so as you can guess, there's only 4 countries in this book, but there's still a whole heap of jokes in there. We're starting on page, 18. Modern humans reached Britain by around 42,000 BP. Their first words were, bloody hell, look at the price of petrol. The island was unoccupied during the last glacial maximum, between about 25,000 and 15,000 years ago. Possibly because electricity prices were too high, possibly because someone had just invented an early form of hide and seek. Caveman Mr. Yog Tompkins III. I say, old bean, I've just come up with a whizzo new game. I'll go and hide somewhere, you count up to 100, and then the rest of the tribe come and find me. Mr. Derek Yogginson. What's counting? Good thought, old chap. Okay, just wait a while, and then come look for me. I can see you now. What's the point? It'll be fun. There's nothing much else to do here, and I'm tired of playing pass the antelope. What do we do when we find you? Well, you just sort of say, found you, and then we'll all come back. Then what? I thought then one of you could go hide, and we'll all go look for him, her, it. And how long does this palaver go on for then? Until we get bored with it. I'm bored with it now. We haven't started yet. I don't like to leave things to the last minute. Oh well, anything to humour you. Off you fuck then. Sound of running, bushes parting, loud scream, loud splash. Oh shit, I've fallen in the lake. Aha, a clue. Off we go then, lads, lasses, whatevers. Sound of much running, many bushes parting, much loud screaming, many loud splashes, much drowning. People returned when the climate and exchange rate improved, around 11,600 BP, and made a point of learning how to swim. They did this. They did this by throwing a succession of unfortunate buggers into the ocean and watching which and how made it back ashore. Many years later, the idea was appropriated by the Department of Health and Social Security and used in their disability living allowance assessments. I read that wrong. It should read, was appropriated by the DHSS, Department of Heartless Soulful Skinflint. On to the next paragraph. At the time, Britain and Ireland were joined to the continent, but the land bridge between them was cut around 11,000 years ago, possibly by rising sea levels, possibly by early republicans. A large plain also existed between Britain and continental Europe, known as Doggerland, because they all had sex out in the open. And this large plain probably lasted until around 5,600 BC, when it was submerged, possibly by rising sea levels, possibly by early Brexiteers. It was good news for the peoples of the peninsula of Jutland, who went from having common mid-county caves to having highly desirable beachfront properties overnight. It was less good news for the people west of them, who went from having highly desirable beachfront properties to having watery graves. Optimists, till the end, they still tried to flog them on purplerocks.com. The warmer climate changed the Arctic environment to one of pine, birch and alder forest. The first branch of I don't know, I want to advertise them. Swedish firm. Opened around this. That hurt like hell. For those of you that don't know, I have progressive bulbar palsy, motor neuron disease. And depending on when you read this, you know, this is a posthumous recording, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, this side of my face, the muscles are all gone, and that hurts like stink. You don't want to know that, do you? Right, where do we get to? So, the climate improved as a consequence. This less open landscape was not conducive to the large herds of reindeer and wild horse that had previously sustained humans, and so they evolved into mountains. These animals were replaced in people's diets by pig and less social animals such as elk, red deer, roe deer, wild boar and aurochs. The first branch of Iceland probably opened around this time. Actually, I have to say, that is kind of... I do apologise to the chairman of Iceland, who's a very good man. I'm not going to go into the comments of things anyway. Right, so that's the end of this chapter. The normal thing, coming up on close to the camera so you don't see me limping.